I'll yell, but for me, it feels a little bit like Groundhog Day today. Why? Did you hear? Donald Trump says he's going to make America great again. So the twice-impeached former U.S. president, who is currently under FBI investigation, lest we forget, announced he is running for president again. This happened last night in front of supporters at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. Okay, we all want to react to this. I heard the audience earlier kind of maybe booing a little. I don't know if I was just projecting. Your reaction to the news.
You know, deja vu feels cool sometimes. This isn't one of those times. This is not like a cool feeling deja vu. I mean, I have so many questions. I watched the announcement. Oh my goodness, and like, is the whole gang gonna be back again? Like Ivanka and Jared and Eric and Don Jr.? Like, are they all coming back? But yeah, I mean, obviously we knew it was gonna happen. A lot of people were speculating because of the way the midterms went and because of DeSantis' strong performance that maybe Trump would defer for a little while. He did not take the advice of his own advisors. He decided to go for it. But here's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of people saying the wind are out of his sails because of the midterm results, but I think it's important not to underestimate him and not to put too much faith in that, because I think Trump runs best as an underdog, right? He runs best with a clear enemy. Now he has that in DeSantis, and DeSantis has this wind in his sails. But I think Trump does best when he has a clear enemy. Now he does. We all know when he doesn't have enemies, he just kind of makes them up, pulls them out of thin air.
Totally.
But at the same time, I think it's important not to underestimate him, because I think they want to try to recapture that. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but that kind of scrappy energy from 2016 that he had. So important, both within the GOP and outside, not to underestimate him at this point. But yeah, deja vu, and there's so much to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? The one thing that I am kind of surprised at is that the Republican Party, who has always stood by Donald Trump's side, for the first time, we're seeing, especially during the primary, are distancing themselves, including and especially Ron DeSantis, who's the governor of Florida. And I think that, to me, is where the winds are changing. Because in the primary, you're right, all of the Trump-supported candidates, none of them won, which I thought was very interesting. But more importantly, former Vice President Mike Pence did a one-on-one interview with ABC News. And that, for me, I don't know if everybody watched it, that was an eye-opener, because Pence, in the entire Trump presidency, stood by his side, and no matter what the antics, was always with the party. And for the first time, he was very emotional and talked about how angry he was.
He's got a book out. His book is all about this, how
angry he was, and he details what happened on January 6th, and he was angry. And he also mentioned that he is possibly running for the presidency in 2024, which I thought, okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And I think that was what we should watch. But also, I'm looking at the Dems like, so what are you guys doing on the other side? Yes, we're paying attention to what the Republicans are doing, but who are you going to have? Are you guys relying on Biden for 2024?
Well, that's where I wanted to go, because can we just do some quick math?
Yeah.
I don't like to do a lot of math on live television. Could go very wrong very quickly. He's currently 79. He's turning 80 this Sunday. 2 years out, which is the next presidential election, he would be 82. And then if he, ran and won and survived the whole term, that's 86. Is my math holding
I think
up?
your math is clear in my head. I don't know.
You lost me already.
Business. So, I mean, let's just do math. What if he decides, we know he's so close with his grandkids. He calls every single one of them every single day. He's got his lovely wife, Jill. What if he's like, you know what, guys? I know democracy hangs in the balance, but at my age, I just want to spend my last years with my family. Everybody would understand. USA might go down the tubes. So does he have a choice? I think it's a really interesting question. It's like, who's in the wing?
I don't think he's going to run again, but I don't think he can say that at this point. You know, that notion of a lame duck presidency. The second he says he's not going to run, it changes his presidency for these last 2 years. But I don't think he's going to run again. I just don't think he can say it at this point. That's my theory.
I mean, I think it's going to be the next 2 years are going to be very telling, and I agree with you. I don't think you can underestimate Trump. I just think we can hope. The thing that I'm most freaked out about is the idea that that people are actually hoping that DeSantis will kind of trounce him, and it's like exchanging one sort of megalomaniac creep for another. So I really think the Dems have their work cut out for the next 2 years. Listen, we're going to be talking about it again.
Hey there, wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.